Well, she's breaking barriers both on and off the field after earning a spot at the 2026 Patriot Games. This local high school student is also building a community through her advocacy, podcast, and accessibility content. We're excited to have Reagan Bischoff here with us this morning. And first of all, thanks for coming here to Good Morning Washington, and congratulations for being nominated to represent.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on here. I'm super excited.
Super excited to talk to you a little bit about today, about the Patriot Games. Can you tell us what sport you play and what it means to have this opportunity to be a representative from the state of Virginia?
Yeah, so I play lacrosse. I have been a goalie for a very long time. I started in first grade. And, you know, what it means to represent Virginia is, you know, I'm super honored to. I have had so many experiences, and, you know, living in Virginia, I've built such a good community, and having all of the supplies and ability to be where I am today, I'm just super honored to be able to represent my, you know, state, Loudoun County, and, you know, celebrate its 250th anniversary.
You are a rising senior with my son, so congratulations there. Big, exciting year for you this year. But listen, not only are you competing, but you've overcome some incredible challenges after undergoing brain surgery as a child and living with cerebral palsy. So your experience is different than maybe the other person's here. How did this impact your approach to sports and life in general? You were telling me before the show, I mean, the way that you carry the lacrosse stick, to the way you put on your seatbelt. I heard you that you have to do things a little bit differently.
Yeah, so, you know, having a traumatic brain injury, you know, you have to change a lot of things. You have to adapt a lot of the stuff you do in everyday life, like regular things like doing your necklaces, you know, doing your hair. And, you know, it really builds your character in a very specific way, because it builds a sense of problem solving and, you know, the ability to not give up. Sometimes things get very frustrating, so being able to overcome those challenges, I like to attack the challenges before they overcome me. And it builds me into the character of being a leader, and I'm really excited to get to take that into the Patriot Games and, you know, show my skill. So
into lacrosse is your sport. How tricky was that? How long did it take you to kind of learn how to adapt?
Yeah, so that was one of the first couple times I realized I was different from everyone else. I mean, in lacrosse, you're known to have your stick on one side of your body, and you have to switch vice versa on both sides. And, you know, I wasn't able to do that. I wasn't able to hold the stick correctly. And so the adaptation of, okay, field doesn't work, so let's try goalie. I figured out goalie works very well for me. I like being able to stand still. It was easy because I didn't have to run as much. My foot can't lift as well. And, you know, it just went from there. I mean, you know, I save with one hand. My left hand drops off my stick because it's hard to hold. But just being able to have that adaptation of being able to play the sport that I love was so amazing. I
mean, I think it's so amazing and so inspirational there. I mean, I feel like some people with limitations like that may just quit or find something else, and you said, nope, we're going to figure this out and we're going to make it happen, and that is just so amazing. Listen, outside of athletics, you also run the Throw Leftie YouTube channel. So tell me a little bit about that and what inspired you there.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, growing up, I was basically born with a disability, just growing up, and figuring out those adaptations early on. I would get a lot of questions, and my mom would post on Facebook, you know, how does she do this? And she would just keep getting questions. So me and my family decided, let's find a page where everyone can come to this one site to find adaptations. So my goal is to help and inspire kids to figure things out. You know, just because it may not be their way, there's another way of doing anything. Right. So going from, you know, teaching people how to do ponytails and tying their shoes. And it inspired me because I want to be able to help those kids who have trouble doing some things and find their way of doing it.
Oh man, very inspirational. Let me ask you this. What advice would you give about chasing your dreams even when life throws you challenges to people out there that they're tuning in or watching? What would you say? Yeah,
so my advice to everyone watching is to never let a disability or a challenge define what you can do and who you are. You can either go at a challenge and say, oh no, I can't do this, or you could say, okay, let's figure out this way. Let's figure out a different way. And so my advice is to, you know, never let it stop you. because you don't want to let challenges define what you can do.
Where there's a will, there is a way. What's next for you after the games? You were talking this as a senior, college is coming up, right?
Yeah. So, you know, after the Patriot games, you know, you guys should tune in and watch. I'm super excited. And, you know, after the Patriot games, I'm going to be a senior at Potomac Falls High School in Sterling. And I am planning on continuing my academic and athletic career at Shenandoah University to play lacrosse and hopefully to become an occupational therapist, so an OTT.
Oh my goodness. Well, we put information up on the screen how people can follow you. I enjoyed our conversation here. You were an amazing young lady, and honestly, I mean, nothing's standing in your way. Your future is bright. Thank you so much for stopping by today. So much more Good Morning Washington. Last couple moments coming back after this.